Navy Lieutenant Alex Summers never expected to be the first human to meet aliens. He worked on the USS Intrepid as a communications expert. Most days his job was boring. He monitored messages, wrote reports, and sometimes decoded secret messages. From other military ships, one day something strange appeared in Earth's orbit. It was a large object, about 300 meters long. It looked like it was made of crystal. It wasn't like any human spacecraft anyone had ever seen. Lieutenant Summers, we're getting a message from the object, said Captain Lisa Morgan. Her voice was tense but calm. It's not in any language we know. Alex hurried to his workstation. His fingers moved quickly across the glowing screen. I'm checking it against all known languages, Captain. Nothing matches, but there's definitely a pattern. This isn't just random noise. Alex worked for 24 hours straight. Finally, he created a basic translation system. The alien ship wanted someone to come aboard for talks. Captain Morgan picked a small team: Alex, Dr. Olivia Patterson, who studied alien life, and Lieutenant Daniel Cortez for security. As their small ship connected with the alien vessel, Alex could feel his heart beating fast. The airlock door opened to show a hallway filled with soft blue light. The walls seemed to be made of a see-through material that pulsed with a steady rhythm. They were greeted by a slim figure with shiny skin that changed colors like oil on water. She looked almost human except for her eyes. They were large, almond-shaped, and completely black with no visible pupils. They took up nearly half her face. Welcome, she said in a musical voice that seemed to come from all around them. I am Nylari, diplomatic representative of the Selenari Collective. You are the first humans we have met directly. Alex stepped forward. He had been chosen to speak for the team. I'm Lieutenant Alex Summers from Earth's United Nations Space Command. We come in peace and with respect. Nylari's skin turned deep. Purple. That is good news. Please follow me to the meeting room. As she turned, she added, and Lieutenant Summers, don't move until I arch my back. The security field needs to recognize who you are. The team looked at each other nervously as Nylari walked ahead. Then she gracefully bent her back in a smooth curve that looked both natural and planned. The wall in front of them shimmered and disappeared, showing a larger room beyond. None of them knew that this simple instruction was the first step in a complex, alien custom that would change humanity's place in the galaxy forever. Over the next few days, Alex and Nylari spent many hours talking. He learned that the Selenari had been watching Earth for decades. We observed many developing worlds, Nylari explained as her skin shifted to a calm blue color. Most species destroy themselves before they reach the stars. We had hopes that humans might be different. Are we? Alex asked. Different, I mean. Nylari made a sound like gentle bells, which Alex realized was her way of laughing. You are here, talking with me. That already makes you unusual. Alex learned that the Selenari came from a star system. 200 light-years from Earth, they had been traveling space for over 10,000 years. In that time, they had met many alien species. Some became friends, Nylari said. Others became enemies. A few became neither, preferring to stay alone. And what will humans become? Alex asked. In I single quotes S skin rippled with patterns of gold and silver. That is yet to be decided. But the first test went well. Test? Alex was confused. What test? When I told you not to move until I arched my back, she explained. Many species would ignore such an instruction. They would push forward thinking only of what they want, but you waited. You observed, you respected the unknown. These are rare qualities in a young species. Alex thought about this. It wasn't just about security, was it? The security field is real, Nylari said. But the instruction was also a test of character. How a species acts in their first moments of contact tells us much about them. That evening, Alex joined Captain Morgan in her private office. The captain looked tired but excited. The Selenari have offered us something amazing, she said. They want to establish regular diplomatic relations with Earth. They're willing to share some of their technology with us. That's incredible, Alex said. Did they say why? Apparently, we passed some kind of test, the captain said with a small smile. Something about waiting for their representative to arch her back, Alex nodded, finally understanding. It wasn't just a security measure, Captain. It was a test of our patience and respect. Well, whatever it was, it worked in our favor, Captain, Morgan said. And they've specifically requested that you continue as our main contact with them. The next day, Alex met with Nylary in a special room the crew had set up for her. The lights were dimmer, matching the lighting on her ship. Your captain has accepted our offer, Nylary said. Her skin was a happy shade of gold. We will begin sharing some technology with humans. Nothing that could be used as weapons, but knowledge? That will help you advance medicine, clean energy, and space travel? Thank you, Alex said. But I still don't fully understand why us, why now? Nylary moved to a window, looking out at the stars. Because there are dangers in the galaxy, Lieutenant Summers. Some species would not be as peaceful as we are if they found your world. Her skin darkened to a warning red. By showing patience and respect in our first meeting, you proved that humans might be worthy allies. And in the times ahead, we will all need allies. Alex felt a chill run down his spine. Are we in danger? Not immediately, Nylary said, her skin returning to a calmer blue. But it is better to be prepared. Better to have friends among the stars. As Alex looked out at the endless space beyond the window, he realized how lucky they had been. They had rushed forward, ignoring Nylary's simple instruction to wait until she arched her back. Earth might now be facing a very different future. We have a saying on Earth, Alex said. Sometimes the smallest actions have the biggest consequences. Nylary's skin rippled with patterns that seemed to show agreement. The Selenari have a similar saying, the greatest journeys begin with a moment of perfect stillness. That night, as Alex lay in his bed looking at the ceiling, he thought about how strange life was. A month ago, he had been a regular communications officer on a military ship. Now he was humanity's ambassador to the first alien species they had ever met, and it all started with a simple instruction. Don't move until I arch my back. 2 weeks had passed since humans first met the Selenari aliens. Alex was now the main person who talked with the aliens. The Selenari had set up a temporary home in a big building outside Washington, D.C. Alex helped Nylary and her 3 friends learn about human customs and rules. I don't understand, Nylary said. Her skin turned a confused yellow-green as she looked at tomorrow's meeting plan with world leaders. Why must we wait for the human leaders to enter the room first? On our world, guests enter first to show they have nothing to hide. Alex drank his coffee. He had learned that being patient was very important when talking about different cultures. It's a sign of respect here. The most important people come in last, so everyone can see them arrive. Nylary's friend, Tylan, a male Selenari with sharper features, joined them. Your people have many customs that don't make sense together. You say honesty is good, yet you tell white lies to make people feel better. There's different cultures, Alex smiled. Speaking of which, I've been wanting to ask about what you told us on your ship, about not moving until you arched your back. Is that normal security for you? The Selenari looked at each other. Their skin moved with patterns that Alex now knew. Was their way of talking without words. It is more than security, Nylary finally said. It is a sign of deep trust in our culture. When a Selenari arches their back, they show their central nerve cluster, what you might call a weak spot. By telling you to wait for this move, I was showing that I trusted you enough to show my weak spot first. Alex felt a chill. So it wasn't just about checking who we were? The check happened, yes, Tylan said, but the move was symbolic. If you had moved before Nylary finished, our security would have thought you were being hostile. You mean we could have started a space war if we'd walked too soon? Alex asked, glad they had been careful that day. Nylary's skin turned a calm blue. Your people showed good instincts. Most new species we meet fail this first test. They rush forward, thinking only of what they want. Humans waited. You watched. This is why we have been allowed to share certain technologies with your people, Alex leaned forward. What kind of technologies? Defense systems, Nylori said, her tone suddenly serious. Because, Lieutenant Summers, there are hunters among the stars, and they have already noticed your planet. The next day, Alex and Nylori went to a special meeting with Earth's defense leaders. General Sam Powell, a tall man with a stern face, led the meeting. The Selenari have given us some disturbing news, the general said to the room full of military and science experts. It seems we are not alone in noticing our new friends. Nylori stepped forward. Her skin was a worried orange color. 3 ships from a species called the Vrax have entered your solar system. They are hiding behind your planet Jupiter, watching. The room filled with worried whispers. Alex spoke up. Who are the Vrax? What do they want? Nylori's skin darkened to a deep red. The Vrax are scavengers. They find developing worlds and take what they want, resources, technology, sometimes even people as workers. They are not interested in friendship, General Powell frowned. How big a threat are they? Our weapons, your weapons would not harm. Then Nylori cut in. Their ships have energy shields your technology cannot penetrate. Then why tell us? A woman in a lab coat asked. If we can't fight them, what's the point? Nylori looked at Alex. Because we believe humans have potential. You passed our first test when you waited for me to arch my back. Now we offer you a second chance. She placed a small crystal on the table. It projected a 3D image of complex machinery. This is shield technology, she explained. Not as advanced as what the Selenari use, but better than what you have now, and it would protect you from Vrax weapons. General Powell looked suspicious. And what do you want in return? Tylan, who had been quiet until now, stepped forward. Knowledge exchange, your culture, your art, your music. These things are as valuable to us as technology is to you. Alex watched the human leaders look at each other with doubt. He understood their worry. This could be a trick. But he had spent 2 weeks with the Selenari. He had seen how they respected human boundaries and kept their promises. I believe them, Alex said, standing up. Everyone turned to look at him. I've worked closely with the Selenari. They could have harmed us many times if they wanted to. Instead, they've only helped. Nylori's skin shifted to a grateful purple. The Vrax will not attack immediately. They study first, looking for weaknesses. We have perhaps 1 month before they make their move. General Powell looked at the crystal on the table. 1 month to understand and build alien technology? It's not much time. We will help, Nylori said. Selenari engineers can work with human scientists. Together we can prepare your world. Later that evening, Alex and Nylori walked in a garden near the building where the Selenari stayed. The setting sun made Nylori's changing skin look even more beautiful. Why are you really helping us? Alex asked. There must be hundreds of developing worlds in the galaxy. Why care about Earth? Nylori was quiet for a moment. Her skin turned a thoughtful shade of blue. Long ago, the Selenari were like humans, curious, brave, sometimes foolish. We faced our own threats from the stars. What happened? Alex asked. Someone helped us, she said simply. Now we help others who show promise. Not all species, but those who demonstrate certain qualities. Like waiting when you arch your back? Alex said with a small smile. Yes, Nylori agreed. That simple act showed patience, respect, and the ability to follow instructions even when you don't understand them. Rare qualities that suggest humans might survive what is coming. What do you mean, what is coming? Alex asked, feeling worried. Is there something worse than the Vrax? Nylori looked up at the darkening sky. Stars were beginning to appear. The galaxy is very old, Lieutenant Summers. And not all that sleep should be awakened? Alex didn't fully understand, but he felt the weight of her words. So helping us with the VR axe ... is just the beginning, Nylori finished. If humans and Selenari can work together to solve this problem, it may be the start of a much longer journey. As they walked back to the building, Alex thought about how strange life was. 1 month ago, humans didn't even know aliens existed. Now they were preparing to fight one alien species with the help of another, and it all started with those words, Don't move until I arch my back. The next day, teams of human scientists and Selenari engineers began working together. They had to build defense systems for Earth's major cities in less than a month. It would not be easy, but as Alex watched humans and aliens working side by side, he felt hope. Maybe humans really did have something special. Maybe waiting for Nylary too? Arch her back had been the first step toward something amazing. Only time would tell. 3 weeks passed quickly as humans and Selenari worked together. They built shield generators and secret bases around Earth. Time was running out. The Vrax ships had moved closer. They were now orbiting Mars. Alex stood in the main control room of the North American Defense Center. Large screens showed the status of shield generators worldwide. Most cities now had some protection, but many rural areas were still exposed. The shields are at 70% power, said Dr. Olivia Patterson. Looking tired, she hadn't slept much in the past weeks. None of them had. It's not perfect, but it's better than nothing. Nylary entered the room with General Powell. Her skin was a worried mix of orange and red. The Vrax ships have changed position. They are moving toward Earth. They will arrive in 3 days. The room fell silent. 3 days was not enough time to finish all the shields. We need more time, Alex said. Can we talk to them? Try to delay them somehow. Nylary's skin darkened. The Vrax do not negotiate. They take what they want. General Powell looked at the world map. Green dots showed protected cities. Red dots showed vulnerable areas. There were too many red dots. We focus our defenses on major population centers, the general decided. And we prepare our military for the areas we can't shield. Your weapons will not stop Vrax ground forces, Tylan reminded them. The male Selenari had been working with Earth's military to improve their weapons. But progress was slow. Alex felt frustrated. There must be something else we can do. Nylary was quiet for a moment. Then her skin changed to a deep purple color that Alex had never seen before. There is one option we have not discussed, but it is complicated. Everyone turned to look at her. The Selenari have sensors on the edge of your solar system, she explained. They could detect the Vrax fleet before it reached Earth. That's good news, General Powell said. But how does that help us now? Those sensors are connected to automated defense satellites, Nylary continued. They could damage the Vrax ships, slow them down, but activating them would require Selenari. High Command approval. Can you ask for it? Alex questioned. Nylary's skin rippled with complex patterns. I already did. They refused. The Selenari have strict rules about direct intervention. We can share technology, but we cannot fight your battles for you. The room erupted in angry voices. Alex raised his hand for quiet. There must be a reason they refused, he said to Nylary. What aren't you telling us? Nylary looked at Tylan, who nodded slightly. The Selenari believe each species must face their own challenges, she explained. Those who receive too much help become dependent. They never develop the strength to stand alone. So this is all a test? Dr. Patterson asked angrily. You're letting people die to see if we're worthy? No, Nylary said firmly. We have helped more than we usually would. But direct intervention would violate our most sacred laws. Alex stepped closer to Nylary. Is there any way around these laws, any exception? Nylary's skin turned a thoughtful blue. There is one. A formal alliance. Not just cooperation, but a binding agreement that would make Earth's defense part of the Selenari's duty. Let's do it then, General Powell said quickly. It is not that simple, Tylan cautioned. Such alliances are rare and permanent. The Selenari would be bound to defend Earth, but humans would also be bound to the Selenari Collective's rules and duties. What kind of duties? Alex asked. Nylary's skin shifted to a formal ceremonial pattern of silver and gold. Your people would have to follow Selenari laws in interstellar matters. You would need to help defend other Selenari allies if called upon. Your scientists would share discoveries with the collective. The room was quiet as everyone considered. It sounds like we'd be giving up our independence, General Powell said at last. No, Nylary corrected. You would keep your own government, your own ways, but in space matters we would act as one people. Alex thought about what this meant. Earth was just beginning to explore space. How would being tied to an advanced alien civilization change humanity's path? How do we form this alliance? He asked finally. A ritual, Nyleri answered, between representatives of both species. It creates a psychic bond that the Selenari High Command would recognize as binding. Psychic bond? Dr. Patterson looked alarmed. What does that mean exactly? A sharing of minds, Tylan explained. Not complete, but enough to ensure trust. The human representative would gain some understanding of Selenari ways. The Selenari representative would gain some understanding of human ways. General Powell frowned. That sounds dangerous. Who would be the human representative? Before anyone could answer, Alex stepped forward. I will. I've worked with the Selenari from the beginning. I trust them. Nyleri's skin flushed with a warm purple color. The ritual must be performed by someone of authority among the Selenari. I am authorized to represent my people. General Powell looked unhappy but nodded. If this will get us the defense we need, I'll approve it. But I want to know exactly what this ritual involves first. Nyleri explained the process. The ritual was simple but serious. She and Alex would connect their minds briefly. This connection would allow the Selenari defense systems to recognize Earth as an allied world. It will not give me control of your thoughts, she assured them. But we will share some memories, some feelings. It is ... intimate by both our standards. Alex felt nervous but determined. How soon can we do this? We should prepare first, Nyleri said. The ritual requires mental focus. We need a quiet place, free from distractions. They set up a small room nearby. It was plain, with just 2 chairs facing each other. Alex sat down, feeling his heart beat faster. Nyleri sat across from him. Her skin was now a calm, steady blue. Are you sure about this, Lieutenant Summers? Once done, it cannot be undone. Alex thought about Earth, about all the people who didn't even know aliens existed yet, much less that they were about to be attacked. I'm sure. Let's do this. Remember, our first meeting, Nyleri said softly. The importance of trust and timing. Alex nodded, suddenly understanding. Don't move until I arch my back, she whispered. What happens next will be ... intense. She placed her hands on either side of his face. Her skin felt cool and smooth. Slowly, her back began to arch in that now familiar gesture. As it reached its peak, Alex felt a strange sensation. Like a door opening in his mind, memories and feelings that weren't his own flowed through him. The vastness of space seen through alien eyes. The beauty of Nyleri's homeworld with its 3 moons. The long history of the Selenari, their struggles and triumphs. Their hopes for the future, and underneath it all, a growing sense that humans and Selenari were not so different after all. When Alex opened his eyes, the room seemed different. Colors were brighter, sounds were sharper. He could feel the air moving against his skin in a new way. The bond is complete, Nyleri said. Her voice sounded musical, with layers of meaning. Alex could now understand. Her skin glowed with a bright silver light that slowly faded to a calm blue dot. Alex touched his forehead. He felt different. Not just his thoughts, but his whole sense of being. I can feel ... much more now. The effect. We'll settle soon, Nyleri explained. Your mind is adjusting to new ways of understanding. General Powell knocked and entered the room. Did it work? Nyleri nodded. Yes, the alliance is formed. I have already sent the signal to our defense network. The Selenari satellites are now protecting Earth as well as our own worlds. The general looked at Alex with concern. Are you okay, Lieutenant? I'm fine, Alex said. Better than fine, actually. I understand things now that I couldn't before. They returned to the control room. The screens showed new information. 3 red dots were moving toward Earth. These were the Vrax ships. But now there were also blue dots near the edge of the solar system. These were Selenari defense satellites. The satellites are moving to intercept the Vrax, Tylan explained, pointing to the screen. They will slow them down, perhaps damage them. But the Vrax will still reach Earth. Dr. Patterson looked worried. Will our shields hold? They should, Nyleri said. But we must be prepared for ground forces if the shields fail in some areas. Alex studied the screens. With his new understanding from the bond, he could see patterns in the data that he had missed before. The Vrax will target our communication centers first. They always do, cut off a planet's ability to coordinate defense. Everyone looked at him in surprise. How do you know that? General Powell asked. Alex tapped his head. The bond with Nyleri. I know things about the Vrax now, their tactics, their weaknesses. Nyleri nodded. The sharing goes both ways. I now understand much more about human courage and adaptability. Over the next 2 days they prepared. The Selenari satellites attacked the Vrax ships, slowing their approach. This gave Earth more time to strengthen defenses. Alex used his new knowledge to help plan the defense strategy. He knew exactly where the Vrax would strike first. On the 3rd day the Vrax arrived. Their 3 ships entered Earth orbit. The planetary shields activated just in time, covering major cities in shimmering domes of energy. The Vrax fired their weapons. Bright beams of red light struck the shields. The control room shook. Shields holding at 85%, reported. A technician. They're testing our defenses, Alex said. Looking for weak points. The attacks continued for hours. The shields weakened but held. Then the Vrax changed tactics. They're landing troops, Tylan warned, pointing to small dots breaking away from the main ships. In the areas between shields. General Powell activated the military communication system. All units, prepare for ground contact. Remember your training. The Vrax armor is strongest in the front. Aim for the joints, Alex turned to Nyleri. We need to get to the main command center. I think I know how to hurt their ships, but we need access to the missile systems. They raced to the military command center in an underground bunker. Soldiers were rushing to defensive positions. Through windows, they could see the shield dome glowing above them as it absorbed attack after attack. In the command center, Alex quickly explained his plan. The Vrax ships have a weak point in their engine cooling systems. If we can hit that exact spot with enough force, we might disable them. Our missiles don't have that kind of precision, said Admiral Joe Bennett, who was in charge of the missile systems. They will if we guide them with Selenari targeting data, Alex explained. Nyleri, can you link their defense satellites to our missile guidance systems? Nyleri's skin turned a determined shade of red. Yes, but it will require direct interface with your computers. I'll need to connect physically. Admiral Bennett looked unsure. Is that safe for our systems? We don't have a choice, Alex insisted. If we don't stop those ships, the ground forces will overwhelm us eventually. The Admiral agreed reluctantly. Technicians set up a connection point for Nyleri at the main computer. She placed her hands on the interface panel. This will take concentration, she said. I need to synchronize the 2 very different systems. Outside, they could hear explosions as Vrax forces fought with human soldiers. The shields continued to hold over the city, but reports came in of battles in unshielded areas. Nyleri's skin began to glow as she worked. Data flowed across the screens faster than human eyes could follow. I've almost got it, she said. But I need more direct connection. Lieutenant Summers, I need your help. Alex moved beside her. What should I do? Place your hands on mine, she instructed. Our bond will strengthen the connection. Alex did as she asked. Immediately he felt a surge of energy flow through him, his mind filled with complex calculations and data streams. The targeting systems are aligned, Nyleri announced. You can fire the missiles now, Admiral Bennett gave the order. Launch. Missiles 1 through 12. Target coordinates locked. The building shook as the missiles launched. On the screens, they watched the weapons streak toward the Vrax ships. Most were destroyed by the ship's defensive systems, but 3 got through, striking their targets perfectly. One of the Vrax ships began to drift. Smoke poured from its engines. Direct hit. Someone shouted, "We've disabled one of their ships." The victory was short-lived. The other two ships increased their attack, concentrating fire on the shield generators. "Shield 4 is failing," reported a technician. "We have 5 minutes before breach." Alex turned to Nylery. "We need to launch more missiles." "Take out the other ships." Nylery's skin had turned pale. The connection to Earth systems was draining her energy. "I can maintain the link for one more attack, but then I must rest." They prepared a second missile launch. This time the Vracs were ready. They shot down most of the missiles, but one hit its target. A second Vrac ship began to drift. The third ship suddenly changed tactics. It stopped attacking the shields and turned its weapons on its disabled companions. "What are they doing?" Admiral Bennett asked in shock. "Preventing capture," Alex explained, drawing on his new knowledge. The Vracs would rather destroy their own ships than let the technology fall into enemy hands. The disabled ships exploded in massive fireballs. The third Vrac ship then turned and accelerated away from Earth, heading back toward the outer solar system. "They're retreating," General Powell said in disbelief. "We actually won." Alex helped Nylery to a chair. Her skin was pale and flickering weakly. "Are you okay?" She nodded slowly. "Yes, just tired. The connection was difficult to maintain." Reports started coming in from around the world. The Vrax ground forces, cut off from their ships, were surrendering or retreating. Earth had suffered damage and casualties, but far less than they would have without the shields and the alliance with the Selena or IDOT as the control room erupted in cheers. Alex looked at Nylery. "We did it, together." Her skin shifted to a warm purple. "Yes, this is why the Selenari form alliances. Some challenges can only be overcome by different species working as one." As the celebration continued around them, Alex thought about how strange life was. 1 month ago, he had been just a communications officer. Now he had helped save Earth from alien invaders, formed a psychic bond with an alien diplomat, and changed the course of human history. And it all started with those simple words: "Don't move until I arch my back." 6 months had passed since the Vrax attack. Earth was healing. Damaged buildings were being fixed. People were returning to normal life, but things would never be truly normal again. Everyone now knew that aliens existed, both friendly and dangerous. Ones. Alex stood on the deck of a new building. It was the Earth Selenari Cooperation Center, built on an island in the Pacific Ocean. From here, he could see the ocean stretching to the horizon. The sky was clear and blue. It was hard to believe that just months ago, alien ships had filled that sky. "Enjoying the view?" asked a musical voice behind him. Alex turned to see Nylery walking toward him. Her skin was a happy shade of gold today. Since the battle, she had become Earth's official ambassador from the Selenari. The bond they shared during the battle had changed both of them. Alex could still sense her feelings sometimes, especially when they were close. "Just thinking about how much has changed," he replied with a smile. Nylery stood beside him at the railing. "Your people have adapted well. Better than most species when they learn they are not alone in the universe." "We've had good teachers," Alex said. To the battle, the Selenari had shared more of their technology with humans. Not weapons, but medical tools, clean energy systems, and faster space travel methods. Earth was advancing quickly. There were already plans for a human colony on Mars. "The first human Selenari research ship is ready," Nylery said. "They've asked you to be part of the crew?" Alex wasn't surprised. Since the bond, he had become valuable to both humans and Selenari. He understood both species in a way few others could. "Where will it go?" he asked. "To explore the edge of your solar system first," Nylery explained. "Then perhaps beyond, to nearby stars. The ship has our fastest engines. It can travel distances that would take your ships decades in just months." Alex thought about this offer. He had always wanted to explore space. Now he had a chance to go further than any human had gone before. "What about you?" he asked. "Will you go back to the Selenari homeworld?" Nylery's skin shifted to a thoughtful blue. "No, I have been assigned to Earth permanently. Our bond makes me the ideal ambassador. I understand humans better than any other Selenari. A comfortable silence fell between them. In the months since the battle, they had worked closely together. Their bond had grown stronger. Alex could now recognize subtle patterns in Nylary's skin that most humans couldn't see. He knew when she was happy, sad, worried, or excited just by the colors she showed. "There's another reason they want you on the research ship," Nylary said after a while. "The Selenari have detected something strange at the edge of your solar system, something that wasn't there before." Alex turned to. "Look at her. The Vrax coming back?" "No," she said. "Something else, something ... older. The sensors can't identify it. Is it dangerous?" Alex asked. "NYLARI single quotes as skin showed a pattern that meant uncertainty. We don't know. That's why we want to send the ship, to investigate safely from a distance." Later. That day, Alex met with General Powell and other human leaders to discuss the mission. The general had been promoted after the battle and now led Earth's new space defense force. "The object appeared 3 weeks ago," the general explained, showing images on a large screen. "It's about twice the size of a Selenari ship, and it's not moving. Just sitting there at the edge of the solar system." "Have we tried communicating with it?" Alex asked. "Yes," said Dr. Patterson, who now ran the Alien Communications Department. "No response to any signals we've sent." Alex studied the images. The object was dark and roughly circular. It didn't look like any ship he had seen before. "What do the Selenari think it is?" "They're not sure," General Powell replied. "But they're concerned. That's why this mission is so important." The meeting continued as they discussed details of the mission. The ship would carry both human and Selenari crew members. It would take about 2 months to reach the edge of the solar system with the new engines. After the meeting, Alex found Nylary waiting for him in the hallway. "You're going to accept the mission, aren't you?" she asked. Her skin showed she already knew the answer. Alex nodded. "How could I not? This is why I joined space service in the first place, to explore, to discover new things." Nylary's skin shifted to a warm purple. "I knew you would say that. There's something else you should know. I've requested to join the mission as well." Alex felt a surge of happiness. "They approved it?" "Yes," she said. "The Selenari High Command agrees that my presence would be valuable. Our bond might help if we encounter something ... unexpected." 2 weeks later, Alex stood in the launch bay of the new ship. It was called the Unity, a name chosen to represent the Human Selenari Alliance. The ship was beautiful, with smooth lines, and a silvery hull that seemed to glow from within. It was much more advanced than any human ship. The crew was boarding. 20 humans and 15 Selenari would make the journey together. As Alex watched them, he felt proud. 6 months ago, the two species hadn't even known about each other. Now they were working side by side. "Ready to go?" Nylary asked, joining him. She wore a special suit designed for Selenari in space. It allowed her skin to shift colors freely while protecting her from space radiation. "Almost," Alex replied. "Just taking it all in?" Captain Maria Diaz, the human commander of the Unity, approached them. Lieutenant Summers and Ambassador Nylary were ready for final boarding. They followed her into the ship. The inside was a perfect blend of human and Selenari design. The controls were adapted so both species could use them. The lighting could shift between human and Selenari preferences. As the crew took their positions, Alex settled into his seat near the bridge. Nylary sat beside him. The ship hummed to life around them. "Unity to control," Captain Diaz said into the communication system. "We are ready for departure." "Control to Unity," came the reply. "You are cleared for launch. Good luck and safe journey." The ship rose smoothly from the launch pad. Through the viewing windows, Alex watched Earth grow smaller. The blue planet that had been his only home was now just a ball in space. Soon, it would be just another bright star behind them. "Thinking about home already?" Nylary asked softly. Alex shook his head. "Thinking about the future, about what we might find out there." Nylary's skin showed a pattern of excitement mixed with caution. "Whatever we find, we will face it together. That is the strength of our alliance." As the Unity accelerated toward The edge of the solar system. Alex thought about how strange life was. 8 months ago, he had been a regular communications officer on a military ship. Then he heard those words that changed everything. Don't move until I arch my back. Now he was heading toward the unknown, part of the first human Selenari exploration team, bound for the mysterious object at the edge of the solar system. Whatever they found there, humanity would never be the same again, and it had all started with a simple instruction and the patience to follow it.